शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुः ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ काञ्चीवासाय विद्महे शान्तरूपाय धीमहि तन्नो चन्द्रशेखरेन्द्र प्रचोदयात्। Namaste. Welcome you all for the day 4 of the 5-day workshop on pranayama. This is the level 2 course subsequent to the level 1 course on yama niyama asana based on the Astanga Yoga of sage Patanjali. Today we are going to look at one of the most exalted, one of the most referred, preferred, used, practiced pranayama technique, a technique which the yogis have been using from thousands of years, a technique which has been prescribed in most of the religious practices in our country, and that technique is called Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, alternatively also called as Anulom Vilom, also refers to as alternate nostril breathing technique. This is one of the very useful, effective techniques of pranayama. This has multiple uses, and we will try to look at the theory and practice of this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama and two of its variants called Surya Vedana Pranayama and Chandra Vedana Pranayama. First, let us know some theoretical aspects of why we should do this alternate nostril breathing. Where does the inspiration or the motivation comes for this breathing technique? So as you know, there are 72,000 nadis in our body. That is, nadis means Shakti Pathas, means energy pathways. And there are some centers of energy called chakras. And the yoga anatomy identifies there are many chakras, of which 7 are very well known: Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agna, and Sahasrara. These are the 7 chakras. And these nadis, they help to distribute the energy to each and every part of our system. And it is believed that any blockage in the pathways of energy is the cause for most diseases, discomforts, problems that humans face. Among the 72,000, there are three nadis which are of vital importance. They are called Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. They are of vital importance because these Ida and Pingala nadi, as you can see, they start from the Muladhara chakra and go alternatingly like this via all these chakras. They have influence on all the six chakras and they end up in the nasal cavity. The central one is called Sushumna, where the Kundalini is supposed to rise, but we will not touch on those things. So this Ida and Pingala, which end up in the nostrils, are of great importance to us. So this Pingala, or also called Surya Nadi, is in that ending in the right nostril, and Ida or Chandra Nadi has its ending in the left nostril. So when you manipulate the breath in the two nostrils, these nadis can be stimulated and they in turn stimulate all these chakras. That is important. And the Pingala nadi influences the left brain, which is to do with your logic, analysis, efficiency, and it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, which is essential for physical activity, strength, better metabolism. It activates the mind and body. It is more activatory, so to say. The Ida or Chandra Nadi influences the right brain, which is to do with creativity, art, language, dance, music, any of these kind of things. Then it boosts the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms our system. It has a cooling effect. It slows the digestion, relaxes the mind, slows down the metabolism. That is the thing. Not only that, so because of this, our functions of the brain can improve if you stimulate these two nadis properly. And it's also known that they pass through all the major chakras. Like this, you can see nadis and chakras starting from Mooladhara, both Ida and Pingala, they go Agna, from Agna they reach the nasal cavity. And they stimulate the major six chakras, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agna. And all these chakras, they have influence on the endocrine glands. You can see in this diagram. And endocrine glands have a lot of influence on our physical, psychological, and especially emotional well-being. And that is why it's very important to keep these chakras in balance. And that is why it is called Nadi Shodhana, means it purifies the nadis. When the nadis gets purified, the chakras function in balance. When the chakras function in balance, our endocrine secretions will be very healthy and it promotes our well-being. So this is the basic introduction why we need to stimulate. Our yogis learned the technique, how to stimulate this, and that technique is Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. How to do this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Towards this, one of the most important thing is they use some hand gesture. We will look at that later. And before we go to that, we will look at what is the benefit of, let us say, breathing through one nostril, uninostril breathing. You can see this research paper. They suggest that the uninostril breathing and alternate nostril breathing techniques, that is the effect of it, is determined by the nostril used for inspiration. That is, when you inhale, it stimulates the nadis. That's what it means. The inhalation that we do, that is the controlled inhalation. You will learn that controlled inhalation in the nostrils, they stimulate the nadis. That is the number one. Number two, the flow through the right nostril, it is more activatory in nature because we know that it stimulates the left hemisphere of the brain, whereas the flow through the left nostril, that is Chandranadi or Ida, is more relaxatory because it stimulates the right hemisphere of the brain. So this shows that we can intelligently use our breathing for our benefit. There's one more research which shows that when you do the right nostril yogic breathing, the oxygenation and blood volume of the left prefrontal cortex, left side, that improves. Similarly, when you do the left nostril breathing, it influences the right side of the brain. So this gives us the hint that for the health of the brain also, this is a very, very good technique. The next question is, what kind of breathing should we adopt? We have discussed abdominal breathing, chest breathing, complete breathing. In essence, all these three techniques can be used even here for alternate nostril breathing or uninostril breathing. But what is preferred is either the abdominal breathing or complete breathing. Just to recapitulate, abdominal breathing means as you inhale, the bottom of the abdomen, middle of the abdomen, top of the abdomen should expand as you inhale. As you exhale, the top of the abdomen, middle of the abdomen, bottom of the abdomen should contract. And you should be watchful. Chest should be as neutral as possible. That is called abdominal breathing. Complete breathing means as you inhale, the bottom of the abdomen, middle of the abdomen, top of the abdomen, then bottom of the chest, middle of the chest, top of the chest expand as you inhale, and the chest and then the abdominal cavity contracts as you exhale. We have discussed at length in the previous session. It is generally advised to make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. And typically 4 seconds inhalation, 6 second exhalation is possible for most people. This is to be understood. You can extend this duration. With practice, one can inhale for 8 seconds, exhale for 12 to 16 seconds. Such things are possible that we will see in the advanced course on pranayama. But right now, this 4 seconds inhalation, 6 second exhalation is ideal, and you can adopt either abdominal breathing or complete breathing. And abdominal breathing is the safest and simplest. And in Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, one of the most important thing is the hand gesture. This is what you have to do. You just spread all the fingers, then fold the index and middle finger towards the base of the thumb, then join the tips of the thumb and the ring finger. Okay, little finger stretched. So hope it is clear. So this is the hand gesture that you need to do. It looks like this, the hand gesture. And look at this. Very important is that you have the lower part, the tip, the middle or the tip, and the upper part. Similarly, for the thumb. So when we use this, we actually press the tip of these two against the nose. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So it first starts with this hand gesture, and I'll show you a little more closely what we actually do in Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So this is called the pit of the nose. Pit of the nose. This is the nostril opening, and this is the pit of the nose. So when you do this mudra, it is fold the index and middle finger in, join the tips of the thumb and the ring finger. Now you should rise and grip. So to say, not grip means don't use too much of force. The pit of the right nostril and the pit of the left nostril to be somewhat gently clipped from the tips of the thumb and the ring finger respectively. Okay, so that's what you need to do. And keep the palms, keep the elbows straight up. Don't drop them. If you drop them, then what happens? This pressure will come like this. Okay, so then what happens? This whole nostril gets constricted. We don't want to do that. We want this nasal opening to be wide while we press this portion, pit of the nose. The airflow is controlled here, okay, so that the air can enter through the whole surface area here and gets constrained here, so that when it goes up, it can stimulate the nadis properly. That's why you should not do like this. You should not close like this. This is a bad practice. So you should clip like this and then hold and press the pit of the nose gently. A gentle pressure from the fingers is enough to manipulate. Okay, hope this is very clear. So dropping this is problematic. You must rise this. So orient the clip of the fingers properly so that the tip of the right nostril sits at the pit of the right nose. The tip of the ring finger fits into the pit of the left nostril while we don't compress the nasal opening. Very important. Okay. So with this we will look at the first technique, uninostril breathing. Inhale through only one nostril, exhale also through one nostril. So that is what we will do. In this, we will look at the left nostril breathing, Chandra Bedana Pranayama. Here what you do, from you do the gesture first and then keep the fingers properly, and you can see here, you have to, from the thumb, you should close the right nostril. From the ring finger, you should slightly press the pit of the nose. It is not completely open inside. The nostril here is open. And now inhale through the left, exhale through the left. That is called Chandra Vedana Pranayama. It calms the system. It is very, very relaxatory. It calms down the entire system. So this is called Chandra Vedana Pranayama. You can adopt abdominal breathing or complete breathing. To begin with, abdominal breathing is the simplest and the safest. And then 4 seconds inhalation, 6 seconds exhalation. After inhalation, there is a small pause. Before exhalation, there is a transition. That also you should observe. Then after you exhale, there is a small pause. Then the inhalation happens. That also you should observe. We will play a audio video file to help you to do this. Same Om Namah Shivaya for inhalation, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for exhalation. Be attentive, be relaxed, and we can start now. Hope it is very clear. You have to do this hand gesture. Keep the fingers properly. Tip of the thumb to the pit of the right nostril. Tip of the ring finger to the pit of the left nostril. Press the thumb, close the right nostril. Using gentle pressure from the tip of the ring finger, partially close the left nostril. Keep the left nostril opening as minimum as possible and slowly inhale through the left. Exhale also through the left. Your session starts now. Be seated upright. We'll do it for about 3 to 4 minutes. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Relax your arms. Now we are going to do the next one, right nostril breathing. You have seen the benefits of this nostril breathing. Right nostril breathing is called the Surya Bhedana Pranayama. Now I think it should be clear. Same procedure, except that you from the by pressing the ring finger, you have to close the left nostril, and from the pressure of the thumb, you should keep the right nostril partially closed. Smaller the opening, better it is. Then slowly inhale and exhale through the right nostril. Same procedure, 4 seconds inhalation, 6 second exhalation. Abdominal breathing is preferred. So that's what. Now be seated upright. We are ready to do the Surya Vedana Pranayama. It improves the metabolism, makes you more active. In fact, it is also suggested one of the mechanisms for keeping the body weight under control. And it is like this. The right nostril is kept slightly open. Left nostril is closed. Inhale through the left. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the right. Okay. Your session starts now with the same audio visual file for about 3 minutes. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo
भगवते वासुदेवाय.
Okay, be relaxed. Relax your arms. In doing all this, we must ensure that our tongue is relaxed and we observe the breath properly, as we have done in our earlier session. That breath awareness is very, very important. Now we are going to look at the proper Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. First of all, what are the benefits of this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama? It's been researched quite a lot. Our yogis have very clearly said this is one of the most powerful technique. The scientific research also supports the claim. Here you see one of the uh, research papers, and they conclude that this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama can reduce blood glucose level, heart rate, blood pressure by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And so, yes, of course, the health of the cardiovascular system improves. Our overall metabolism also remains very healthy. But please remember, all these things are not a substitute for any medical prescription or suggestion. Okay, I'm just giving you what is the research status on all these techniques. This is another study where even in post surgery, for surgery like the open heart bypass grafting surgery, um, you know, during the rehabilitation, most of some of them can undergo some sort of a depression, anxiety issues, post surgical, and so how this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama can help in people who have undergone this coronary artery bypass grafting. So they have done a lot of studies and they have shown that along with other physiotherapy, etc., if you do Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, it reduces depression, stress, and anxiety. Of course, even in healthy individuals, uh, it is so. It helps in reducing depression, stress, and anxiety. And they have done the test to check this peak expiratory flow rate, as we call it PFR, which an indication of our respiratory system. And so this study says that it is not only useful for the heart, but is also good for the lungs, which means our circular respiratory system becomes good. Then there is another study which says that regular practice of this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama helps the parasympathetic predominance. Parasympathetic means it keeps you calm, cool, no depression, anxiety, etc. Then the diastolic blood pressure falls and the peak expiratory flow rate improves, which means lungs becomes better, and the overall cardiorespiratory efficiency improves. There is another very important finding where they have found studies with the EEG, electroencephalograph, which picks up a lot of signals. In that, there is one particular signal called P300. We will not go into the details, but briefly, this P300 tells you about our attentional abilities. How attentive can you remain, and any other additional stimulus that comes, how you can handle. So that is most important thing. So it is found that this P300, it improves the amplitude of this particular signal, which shows your attentional abilities. There is another research paper which is very encouraging. It says that the alternate nostril yogic breathing is associated with greater calmness, um, better than simple quiet sitting. That's what it says. And alternate nostril yogic breathing helps removing stress and anxiety. That's why it is very good for the student community. They can practice this so that the anxiety and stress during exams or interviews can be taken out. This is another interesting study. Whenever you are just doing any activity where your vigilance is needed, naturally there is a stress response. That sympathetic activity increases. But they have found that if you do alternate nostril breathing and do any sort of that sustained attention activity, even then the sympathetic nervous system does not become active. Which means without getting stressed, you can do works that needs your intense attention. That is the reason why in our religious system, before you do any puja or yajna, they suggest pranayama. Before any puja, when they refer to pranayama, it is this Nadi Shodhana pranayama they are referring to. So if this is understood and if you do this pranayama, our, our mind will be calm, focused, and even when you are doing homa or puja, whatever, the mind gets focused onto that particular task. Not only puja or homa, we mean any important task that you want to do, it is very, very helpful. Then most importantly, there is this vagus nerve, which is also called the super highway of our body. This is one of the major nerves of the parasympathetic nervous system. It influences all vital organs. It is the 10th cranial nerve that goes, and it is found that because if vagal nerve is properly stimulated, kept healthy, most of our systems work properly in a calm way. There are gadgets, artificial gadgets to stimulate vagus nerve, but here is a simple natural technique our yogis have given. The alternate nostril breathing can do wonders. The results suggest that vagal activity is increased during alternate nostril yogic breathing, and through this, the blood pressure calms down and the heart rate variability also reaches healthy state. So now the technique, the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, the technique is you have to use both the nostrils for breathing. You have to exhale through one of the nostrils, inhale through the same nostril, then exhale through the other nostril. So now in this we have shown, you have to first do this gesture, hold pit of the right nostril and left nostril from thumb and ring finger respectively. That is important. Now from the thumb, press the right nostril so that the right nostril is closed. Pressing the tip of the ring finger, keep the left nostril partially open. Now exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left nostril. Very slightly open the right nostril. Exhale through the right. Again inhale through the right. Close the right nostril. Very slightly open the left nostril. Exhale through the left and continue this cycle. This is called alternate nostril breathing. One of the most powerful breathing techniques. We will start the practice with the same audio visual file. You can adopt abdominal breathing or complete breathing while doing this, and this has to be done for longer period of time. That is important. If you do it for 15 to 20 minutes, then you will see the immediate effect of this breathing technique. And for some people, the hands could pain, in which case from right hand you can take over to the left hand. There is no problem. You can even use your left hand. Okay, so that you should remember. So Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, you have to do the Nadi Shodhana gesture first. Hope you are aware of it. Then if you are using right hand, raise the right hand up. Tip of the thumb to the pit of the right nostril, tip of the ring finger to the pit of the left nostril. From the thumb, close the right nostril. That is, you have to press there gently, it will close. Using the pressure at the tip of the ring finger, keep the left nostril slightly open. Now slowly exhale through the left. Then inhale through the left. Close the left. Very slightly open the right nostril. Exhale through the right. Now inhale through the right. Close the right. Exhale through the left. So do this alternately, and we will play the audio visual file for you. Ensure that you are seated upright and you now know the sitting posture and all that properly. We have already explained, and you can start now. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, just relax your arms. Feel the inner calmness, quietness. All these things should be done with eyes closed. Okay, open your eyes. There are multiple variants of this, and there are many more techniques of this. We have now limited ourselves to a simple, basic technique. Let's offer our prayer to Sage Patanjali. Take a deep breath. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा बलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्थं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि हरिः ओम्। श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। शुभमस्तु।